Hey, it's Rachel with Rachel Kohler Dog Training, and I'm here with Susan with Pack Leader Dog Training.
Hey guys.
And we are here for our weekly Q&A. That time of the week again, Susan.
So exciting.
Right?
I know, I felt like it was just last Thursday, and I'm thinking, oh, Q&A Tuesday's so far away. And then here we are. So
Right? It really because I found that too towards the end of the week, like Thursday or Friday, I'm thinking man, it's been forever since we've done a Q&A. I'm ready for Q&A Tuesday because I'm missing it. And that's like Thursday or Friday. And then it's like, okay, no, I've got a long time before it happens again. And then the next thing I know, it's like, oh crap, it's Tuesday.
Right. It's crazy.
Out of nowhere.
Hey, I just got the notification that you're live.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you know. I don't want that to be kept a secret.
Yeah. It didn't tell me that I'm live, but you're live, so.
You could be live and you won't even know it. I'm going to share this on Instagram really quick.
Okay.
Since our streaming platform does not want to work with Instagram.
So, if you guys follow my story, you know that I have a board and train right now. Her name is Bindi. So she is working while I'm working. So while I'm doing the Q&A, she is on her place bed over there. So if you hear me say no, and if I get up, it's because she's getting off of her place bed. But the cool thing about having a trained dog is they can be working while you're doing something. So in the beginning, you're going to be doing a lot of reps. So you can pattern the commands that you want. But once you can start getting duration, you could be working your dog while you're doing stuff too. So it doesn't take as much of your time as it does in the beginning. So you could be making dinner, your dog's on place or in a down or in a lay. And then when you go to eat, you can move them into a different command. So if they're in a place while you're cooking dinner, 20 minutes goes by. Now when you go to eat dinner, you can have them in a lay or a down. So it's just really convenient. Once you put in that beginning work and those reps, it becomes a lot easier to kind of manage them.
That is such a great point, because that's something I tell my one-on-one clients a lot. Because you want to look at that end game, right? So you want to be able to put your dog in place while you go and cook dinner. So you've got that in your head. You want that. Well, in the beginning when you're training the dog, you can't just put a newly trained or a dog who's still learning. You can't just throw them on place and then go cook dinner. You have to put in the work first. So I always tell people, keep that in mind. Remember that that's what you're working towards. But you got to build up too.
Right. And it doesn't really take that long, depending on how you train. So with my dogs, I've advanced my training to, if they're on a verbal, I'm going to transfer you to the e-collar. Once you transfer them to e-collar, you can start building duration. So it doesn't really take that much time to get to where you want to get to where you start building more duration. So if you take a week and really do the reps and get the dog to understand what the commands mean, once you're on a verbal, we can move to the e-collar, and now that's where the fun begins, because now you can build duration. So in a week's time, once they're on the e-collar, they can go from being on place for 5 minutes to now being on place for an hour, depending how much work you put into it. So it's really awesome.
It really is. It's fun that you said that because, looking back to when I first started training, I've changed my training style so much. I'm always growing and learning and improving, all of that good stuff. But I couldn't get dogs on duration the way I trained at the facility I was at until really you're at the 3rd week. The dogs, it was only a 4-week course, and dogs weren't on e-collar until the 4th week. Wow. And now it's once you know it on the verbal, why not start teaching you e-collar? Why not start teaching you that pressure?
Right.
We're able to communicate with them better sooner. And then just like you said, proof them on so many things. It's so fun.
Yeah, I don't know how what? Is there something?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you were interrupting me because there was a question or something.
Oh, no.
I don't know how I trained before and got the things done in the time that I got them done in, because it's just so much quicker. And it's not all about quickness, right? But as you get better with something and tailor your craft, you're gonna just organically find ways that go smoother.
Right.
So with my board and trains, now by probably day 3 or 4, they're moving to the e-collar. Probably. Where it used to be day 4 or 5. I don't know. Just crazy.
Right. And so it's okay. So this is weird. All right. Cause we're just chit chatting now. You said that and I'm like, wow. And like, we talk every day. So like, I know what your training course is like, but hearing it out loud is kind of crazy. But then I
Uh-huh.
think about it and I'm like, well, I don't usually do that until like, sorry. I don't usually do that until like the second week. But then I remember I'm only there 3 times a week.
So that's your day
So
4.
it's like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Fun stuff. You like our festive background because St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow? I had a
I
little
didn't,
freak.
I didn't even realize tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day, so
So you're probably like, why did you just do this?
I knew it was coming up. I just didn't realize how soon it was coming up.
Well, the only reason I know that it's tomorrow is because I kind of freaked out today. So I have this shirt that I bought last year, bought it off Amazon, wore it for one day because it's got a blue tick on it and it's got like shamrocks and stuff for St. Patrick's Day. Because you can find anything on Amazon, by the way. If you just go on Amazon and type in like Belgian Malinois St. Patrick's Day shirt, there's going to be one on there. I was doing it with my old boss and we were doing it for fun. She found some with like chicken St. Patrick's Day shirts because she's got a farm. It's like anything. It's on Amazon. So I got one with a blue tick because that's, my parents' dog. And I'm like, I'll wear that tomorrow because it's going to be the only day of the year I'm going to wear it. So I'm working today and I see somebody post on social media, Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I freak out because this is very clearly not the shirt I'm talking about. So I thought I'd missed my one day a year to wear this shirt. But it's tomorrow.
Oh, good. Well, good. I'm glad they posted that.
Right.
And then you realized.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have a dog training question for you, Susan.
Okay.
Because while nobody's on here now, this won't go up for a replay. So I guess we
Okay.
should like ask some questions.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, Susan, my dog barks and pulls to people during our walks. She just wants to say hello though. What should I do?
So the first thing you're going to want to do is train a good heel, and you're going to start inside first. So if we can't get our dogs to listen inside with minimal distractions, we can't expect them to listen outside. Or if we do, we're going to have to use a lot of force and corrections. So let's set them up for success. So I would start with training a heel inside. I do have a good video on how to train heel. You're going to do food luring first, move to leash pressure, and then move them to the e-collar. Then we're going to work outside. But first, you want to make sure that the picture inside looks good first. So don't ever try to heel your dog in the driveway if they're pulling in a heel inside, right? So I always say perfect the picture before you add on. So perfect the picture of a heel inside the house before you move to the driveway, and then perfect that picture. Then move to your sidewalk, and if that looks good, now go for a walk.
I like that. Yes, Susan has a great how-to series, so check that out. But yeah, one thing I wanted to comment on for this is, the question says, but they just want to say hello to people. And to be quite honest, I don't really care. Like, I don't care why. The fact of the matter is you're pulling and you're barking and you're lunging. We're not going to say hi for them because I don't want to go say hi to people. We're walking. It's me and you time. So I don't care that you want to go say hello to them or if you want to go attack them. Now, obviously, if you want to attack them, we got some bigger fish to fry. But still, the fact of the matter is we're not doing that. So then train them a heel. Unless you like being pulled around. But that's one thing I wanted to comment on because I get that a lot of the time when I'm talking about or hearing about dogs who are leash reactive. Leash reactive doesn't necessarily mean your dog's aggressive. It just means they're reacting. And their reaction is a hyper amped up state where they're barking and they're lunging. So I hear that a lot. Like, yeah, my dog barks and lunges and pulls towards people and other dogs, but they just want to say hi. I'm like, I don't care what they want to do.
Wait,
Do you want to be dragged across the street by your dog?
That brings another point up that I think I talked to my husband about actually, is when I'm asking clients about their dog and to like explain what their dog is doing that they want, fixed. Usually people want me to solve behavior issues. Now how I do that is telling the dog no, but then now tell them what to do. So I end up training them their commands.
Right.
But usually no one ever asks me, hey, how do I train my dog to down? They'll just be like, hey, how do I get my dog to stop barking or whatever? So anyway, I was talking to my husband. I said, people like to preface she's really sweet. Like, I have a really sweet dog. She's really affectionate, but she does growl at my son. I don't know why you feel like you need to preface it. It's not, it's like you're trying to tell me, like, I do love my dog, but X, right? We know you love your dog.
Right.
We know your dog's a good dog, and we know you're interested to like help your dog because otherwise you wouldn't be using a trainer. So you don't feel like you have to preface it. You know what I mean? Like, do you get that too?
Yeah, and it's like, no offense, but how sweet and affectionate are they? They're growling. But yeah, it's like don't preference it, because the thing is like, out. Sorry, I broke her from her kennel because she'd been in there for like a while. I'm like, you probably want to stretch your legs, and then she came and got in my business. But yeah, I mean, I have a dog I'm training right now who tried to bite me, but like, I still love her. Like, we've made that bond, so it's like you don't have to worry that I'm not going to like your dog or not going to think your dog's nice. Your dog just needs that guidance and that structure, so I'm going to give it to him. You don't have to be like, it's okay, they're so sweet, you're gonna love them, it's fine, they're super nice, but like, it's okay. I'm gonna love your dog anyways. I love all the dogs I train because that's who I am.
Well, because we end up building a relationship. It's not just like we go.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that.
You know, we build a relationship through training. So one of my clients actually, we were talking about prongs and e-collars, and she was just nervous. She's like, is this gonna ruin my relationship with my dog? Is it gonna make my dog not, like me? And I said, you are gonna have such a beautiful relationship with your dog using these tools. And her response was, well, I already have a beautiful relationship with my dog. And
what's that relationship look like? I said, what's that relationship look like?
Right. Well, I said, well, yes, you do. Like, you love your dog loves you, all this happy, fun stuff. But you came to me because your dog doesn't listen to you or follow through or that kind of thing. So these tools will help make your relationship better. Yes, you already have something beautiful, but can you imagine having something more beautiful? Because it's just a way to like communicate with them. Really, I could communicate with the dog without a prong and without an e-collar. So could a client, but it's gonna be an easier transition. For me to communicate with the dog, I'm in tune with their body language. I know when to add spatial pressure or whatever. Normal people don't know that. So just tools are an easier way to help me, as Rachel would say, get you guys to speak the same language. So I don't know. It just made me think about that.
Right. I think it was funny because you said, as Rachel would say, and I'm like, what do I say? But that just made me think of something funny, not funny, but cute, that I wanted to share with you. So I'll share it now. So anyone who knows like Gaia's story, I got her from what I call Juduville, just crap place, whatever, right? So I got her from there, and we've come a long way in like building my relationship with her and just her relationship with like just life, just her learning that like she's allowed to be a dog and she's not going to be corrected for like breathing wrong. And we've come a long way with that. So I've shared before that my parents' dog Blue, I can't move his prong collar because I used to keep it stored downstairs. Now it stays in my room. But if I was like reorganizing downstairs, if I'd move Blue's prong collar, he would get like really excited, and I'd be like, feel bad because we're not going anywhere now. But he heard the prong collar, so he was like, yeah, we're doing something. So it built our relationship a lot more. And then with Gaia, she lived in a training facility for about a year, so she never really cared about the sounds of prong collars and e-collars being moved because she heard that all day, and her experiences with them weren't fun. For the first time, I think it was like yesterday, the day before, I was organizing my room and I moved her e-collar, and she literally jumped up and started wiggling and like ran over to me.
Oh God.
And you know Gaia, so for her to be like, oh, we're going somewhere, we're going outside, I was like, who are you? But then I had to tell her no because I was cleaning.
Oh, that was so cute. How about, tell them the story about the receiver.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so her past foster mom would threaten her with the receiver. So I don't have it on me, but she would be like, meh, and like shove it in her face, like I guess while she was correcting her. Yeah. So when I first got Gaia, I would wear it around my neck because why not? We're going outside, like didn't want to shove it in my pockets, whatever, blah, playing jolly ball, would not play with the ball because I was wearing the e-collar. So if it was in her sight, she was scared to do anything. Even now, sometimes, very rarely, because we've worked on it a lot, if I'm like wearing it and I just touch it to like take it off or do whatever, she's kind of like, but that just shows that was like how she was trained. So it's not that e-collars are bad. It's just that her association with it, with how she was trained, wasn't. But now after being with me and me like retraining her and rebuilding her picture, right? Rebuilding her experience with training and with boundaries and structure and blah blah blah. She's like, it's not that bad. So now for her to get excited when I move it, because she thinks I'm going to put it on her and we're going to go do something, is really cute.
That's so cute. That's so great. How awesome. I was gonna say, so I actively will tell my clients, I don't want to see you doing that. So like, I don't want to see you saying, hey, you better,
right?
No, don't make me use it. It shouldn't be that the dog's responding to this. The dog should be responding to your verbal no. So don't, and some people accidentally cue them too. So if you have it wearing it as a lanyard like I am, if your hand's not on all the time, if you say no and now you go to grab your collar, the dog will associate every time you touch this, they get corrected. So when my clients are first starting, I actually recommend that they don't wear the lanyard, because then you're going to have it on your neck and you're never going to have it with you. So if you're actually training your dog, I'll have it like not on the lanyard, because it's always in my hand then, because I can't set it down somewhere because it has to go with me. So this way your hand's always on it and the dog doesn't get that picture of, oh, when you pick the collar up, I get corrected.
Right. Let's see. Automator, don't know who this is, from YouTube, says hello. Hey guys. Hey there. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, no, that's a great point. I found myself before. So dogs really pick up on body cues. They like things like the reaching for the collar or reaching for your treat pouch. Like dogs are very, very observant creatures. So like on the other end, so not just for corrections, but for rewards, right? I've had clients who will like say good as they're reaching into the treat pouch or tell their dog to do something as they're reaching into the treat pouch. I don't want you to need that cue, because you're not always going to get a treat. So you're not going to only listen when I'm reaching for the treat.
Exactly.
So as trainers, and we're not perfect, we have our moments, like I'll touch on that in a second, but it's always like we have to try to like be pretty body neutral when we're doing a command. So a lot of times when I'm on e-collar work with the dog, I found that when it was hoodie season, I would kind of just have my hands in my pockets, or now I just kind of like have my hands behind my back sometimes if I'm just walking around. I don't want it to be like the exact same picture every time, obviously, but I don't want the dog to see the cue of, okay, now I'm like messing with the remote, or now I'm going to like reach for a treat, or now I'm going to like point to things. I want it to be all based off of what I say and not anything that I might be doing with my body. And gosh, they pick up on like the littlest things.
Yeah, right? Like with your dog Abby that you were training with the owners, when they would do like a certain.
Oh my gosh, I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so Abby, love her. She is a sweetie. Abby was my dog who was the most sensitive to those cues, which is what Susan was referring to. So her transition from me to her owners took a little bit longer, because I didn't realize how heavily she was focused on my body cues. So something as simple as I'm standing this far away from the place cot when I recall her to put her on place, and then her mom is standing this far away from the place cot, Abby was like, whoa, it's a whole new thing. Or something as simple as, to help her out, I'll take a step backwards, or not even like leaning forward at all when you recall her. Like little things like that. She was just like, whoa. She was a really special case in a lot of ways, but we're able. And the thing about body cues, though, is it's not irreversible. So like, yes, I want to help out her parents and give them like the tips and the tricks and whatever. The fact of the matter is, place is still place, no matter if I'm standing here or here. So we were able to work through it, but it was definitely something that it was like a shock. It was like I didn't realize how observant she was to all of those things.
Yeah. How cool is it though that you were able to notice that? You know, like we have that skill set, and I don't know about you, but I feel like half of mine was just I had it, and the other half I learned. So I'm just in tune with animals. But it's like I can tell if it's like, oh, okay, she's a little nervous because you're too close to the bed or whatever.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was and I will say, like, it was really cool to, like, because I was confused at first, like, why is this struggle here? And it was honestly things like as little as they, like, I think one time was standing sideways when they recalled her, and she was like, "What do I do?" And then when they stood like this and they recalled her, she was like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
But she was definitely really, really observant.
I have a question for you if you're ready.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Do you like how my cat is making his own like hole over here? So like I closed the blind so he can't see, so he actually used his paw and he stuck his face through the blind so he can see.
Well, you turned off the TV and that was really rude of you, so.
I know, it really was. My 14-week-old puppy will not learn to leave things alone that aren't his. When I say no, he doesn't listen. Advice?
So, 14-week-old puppy is not leaving things alone, and you say no and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, have you tried saying, don't touch that? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So the thing is, it doesn't matter what you're going to say to this dog. What I want to know is, what are you doing? So saying no means nothing unless you're going to follow through with the consequence. Dogs don't speak English. The only English words they know are the ones that we teach them and the ones that we put in the work to show them over and over and over and over that this is what this means, right? So we can talk about why does your 14-week-old puppy have the freedom to be making these bad choices? We can touch on that later. But no's got to have consequence. So I can tell a dog no all day long. If they do not have a consequence, a correction of any form to follow that, no means nothing. So what is a correction going to be? It could be a compressed air, finger poke, finger in the mouth, whatever. 14 weeks old. Yeah. So you just got to find what works for your dog, find a correction that's valuable to them to show them, like, hey, no means something not fun's going to happen. Maybe you like shouldn't do that. Yeah, no means no.
So what I found like a lot of people do is they'll say no, and that doesn't work, so they escalate it. So it's like no, 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 and they're like yelling it.
Right.
And like some dogs that might work, like for my wallflower of a dog over there, because they're hurt if you look at them the wrong way. Like certain dogs are more sensitive, so yeah, if you yell no, it's a noise aversion. Same thing as if you shake like coins in a can. So that'll work for some dogs, sure, but I don't want to have to do that. I want to literally be able to whisper no to you, and you'll be like, sorry, mom, didn't mean to do that. Because if I'm in public, or who the hell cares, if I'm wherever, I want to be able to be like, no. And then the dog's like, oh, shoot.
Right? No? It's like, oh my gosh, like when you're out with like your mom in public and she just gives you the look and you know. She doesn't have to scream at you, but she just looks at you and you're like, there's going to be some consequences.
Yes.
I mean, I never had that because like, I'm a perfect child. But yeah, that also brings up another point, and then I have a comment I'll read in a second, is that's bringing in emotion. So the raise in the voice, you're getting emotional, you're getting angry, you're getting frustrated. The dog is picking up on your anger and your frustration. They don't care what you're yelling. You could be getting angry and yelling, good boy, but you're angry about it, and they know that. So they're not, like you said, responding to the no, they're responding to that loud sound. So training is emotionless. I'm not saying no because I'm mad at you. I'm saying no because you can't get into my stuff. So this is off of your Facebook. Nelson Roy Miles says, do you girls know the song I Feel Good by James Brown? I do not know that song.
Yes, you do. I'm not singing it, but you know it.
Oh, is it the one that just says I feel good?
Yeah.
I don't know like artist names.
Oh,
I just assume I don't know song titles either. So I don't know the title of a song. I don't know who sung it. I know if I hear it, but that's it.
yeah. No, I'm like, yeah, you know it.
Okay. The really high pitch. The like, beep. Yeah. I got you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well,
I mean, I hope so. That's the song I'm thinking of.
if there's another one, then they ripped off that song by stealing that song title.
Yeah.
All right. So Susan, I had a question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Feel good?
I feel good.
All right.
Like I know that I should.
Every time I go to sit on the couch, my dog jumps up first and takes my spot. I want him to be allowed on the couch, but this is so annoying. What should I do?
Okay, so
And I've seen this. This homeboy jumps up on the couch real quick and gets right under. Like you go to sit down and he jumps up and gets under your butt, so you can sit on
okay,
him.
so there's a couple things you could do. At least I could do, or I would do. So you could say no and correct that behavior because you don't want them like skirting under where you're gonna sit because the dog knows. Like you're going to sit and they're like skirt. You could say no and correct it. Or you could say out because out just means get out of here until I tell you you don't have to. So we may revisit that. So you could teach your dog out. Your dog jumps on the couch, you say out, the dog gets the hell out, and then after a minute you say break and the dog can come up beside you. What would you do?
No, that sounds good. What I would do is I'd probably look at it as an overall thing. So right now the dog is like the couch is something I can jump up on, really hyper whenever I want to, right?
Mm.
Not what we're doing with the couch. Like, so I would change that. So I would take away couch privileges. So right now you're not going to get on the couch unless you're invited up. So I'd start off no couch. I'd start off with no couch privileges. Get that clear. So the dog's not jumping up on the couch for a while. Then I'm going to start inviting you up. So then you can get up on the couch only when I say up. And you can practice that, put a leash on the dog, help them, teaching that up means to jump up on the couch. And then out, you're going to want to practice out drills. Out means to get off. My fun fact, this is about Mr. Mars that I'm working with right now.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, his owner went to go show me, and it was seriously, he was just talking me through it. We didn't think Mars was gonna do it. Mars comes running in from the other room. It's not funny, but it is. Mars comes running in from the other room and like jumps up on the couch right before he sits down. And like he's not doing it to like steal the spot. He's just doing it to be on the couch with him. But he's like, I want him on the couch. Like, this is annoying. So Mars is about to graduate training. So I'm like, in the 90-day protocol, no couch. No couch for 90 days. Then, I don't know if it has to be the full 90 days. But then once he's learned that he can't jump up on couches whenever he wants, then we can start inviting him up.
Right. I like that. It's more permission based.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Are you ready for I was like, ready for my next question?
Yeah.
Is a dog ever too old to start e-collar training?
Ever too old?
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a question for Miss I trained a 18-year-old dog last week.
He was 13.
13, okay. No, your dog is not too old to start e-collar training. So I always say as long as your dog is physically and mentally fit, meaning they don't have dementia and they're not walking around in circles, and they're able to physically perform whatever task you're asking them to do, then they can be trained. So yes, your dog can be e-collar trained.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like if it is a dog ever too young, yes. So we usually don't start to layer on the e-collar till like 16-ish weeks old. But that's after we've already taught them the basic commands, and you use the e-collar to layer on the commands they already know. But right. Is it ever too old? No. Because I did have somebody I did a consult with, and she asked me, she said, is he able to be trained? Is he too old? And I actually get that question a lot more than I thought I would.
A lot.
And this dog is only 3.
So let's say, wasn't that one like really young?
Yeah, yeah. But people just don't know. They don't know.
Which is kind of sad though, to think that there's such a strong misconception out there that an old dog can't learn new tricks, because it's just like, to me, like, really sad that people think huskies can't be trained, and people like genuinely believe that they've got a husky and their dog is just a maniac and they can't do anything about it. Or, you know, my dog, I adopted this dog and he was already 3 years old and I can't train him now because he's too old. That's sad. Like, old dogs can learn new tricks. Huskies can be trained.
It's sad when owners think they can't, there's no solution for their problem, right?
Really sad.
But it actually makes me actively angry to hear people spouting those lies, because they, you know what I mean? Like they're spreading those lies, making owners believe that.
Right. I had like, on that topic, I had a consult with a husky, and they went to a big box store. Their husky is people friendly, dog friendly. He's just hyper and jumps on people. That's his only problem. He's hyper and he jumps. Big box store that starts with the name Pet and doesn't like shock collars. No, stop. They said that this dog was untrainable. 3 of their trainers that worked there said that this dog was untrainable. This family was at their wits' end. They were so devastated. I said, that must be like really like discouraging to have 3 trainers tell you that your dog is untrainable and y'all love him with your whole heart, and now you have to deal with a dog who is jumping and is rude and just doesn't have any manners.
Yeah.
Because the force-free positive only trainers said he was untrainable because
he is.
Yeah. So yeah, they were just like, she told me, she was like, it was heartbreaking to hear that because we love him and we thought our life with him was just going to be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really sad, and then I got mad at that box store, and then they came out with the whole Stop the Shock program, so I got even more annoyed with them. Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, whose turn is it?
Your turn to ask.
My turn. Okay, so Susan. My dog is scared of everything. Will agility build his confidence?
Yes. Once we get your dog to not be scared of everything, right? So I'm not going to take a dog that's, as described, fearful of everything. So I'm assuming even like going outside would be scared, or like hearing a random noise would be scary. So we need to build up the dog's confidence until, I guess you're proofing things, right? So I need the dog to be able to exist on a walk, go to the store, you know, and they don't have to be like, oh God, so full of themselves. But I want them to be able to like walk and like hold a command. You can see they're like kind of nervous, maybe, but they're working through it. So you shouldn't just take a scared dog and like kind of throw them into that situation of agility, because they already have to have a little bit of confidence to start, before you can like add on to it. So yes, it will help, but we need to get your dog like public access training, so it can actually like exist out in public before we can ever add agility on.
So sorry, I'm going to interrupt you really quick, because my patience has worn out. Do you know this person before I say anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is a dog training Q&A. So we are not going to dance to this song. If you would like to hear the song, you are more than welcome to search it on YouTube and listen to it on your own time. If you have any dog training questions, feel free to ask. But I don't think this is cute. I'm not going to dance to this song. It's really inappropriate. So do me a favor and stop annoying me. And yeah, that's how I feel about that. And like, do you honestly think that's going to work? Sorry, but that's how I feel. And Susan, if you do know this person and he's joking, I apologize. But it's like, come on, guys. But not all men, right? Not all men.
Not all men.
Hashtag not all men. So yeah, thank you for that, sir. But yes. So about the confidence building and agility on this dog training Q&A. Exactly what you said. So if your dog is scared of everything, to ask them to go through an agility course, holy heck, that's going to be terrifying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, let's build their confidence through other stuff first. So Miss Sally, for example, She's a great example of this. She is just scared of life. She's come such a long way in her, she's on her 7th week of training with me now. Completely unrecognizable from when I first met her, right? But she wants to do agility, right? Because she's a border collie and that would be fun and that's what border collies do. She's not ready for that because the first time we went in the front yard, she couldn't exist in the front yard without it being like the end of the world. So I explained to her mom that if I were to try to take Sally, who was scared to be in the front yard, if I were to try to take her to an agility ring, that would be like asking me to run a 5K tomorrow. Right. That wouldn't work out for me. I need to build up to that. I need to, oh, Susan, you're frozen.
I know.
Okay. I need to build up to that 5K first before I can go run it. So for Sally, we need to exist in the front yard first. We need to walk around the neighborhood first, and do all that stuff. So, yes, when your dog gets to that point, that is definitely something that they can do. Sorry, it's echoing a lot.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah. If you're doing important things.
Well, I was trying to see if I could like kick him out.
Oh.
And or
okay, as long as it doesn't learn your lesson. Shut the hell up. Sorry if you know this person, but you really think that's appropriate and you really think that's work? Like it's 2021. Like stop harassing people. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed Tuesday.
Have a blessed Tuesday. No, I just don't want to people shit. What?
I said that's what you said earlier to that truck that was like blowing cardboard
pieces.
My
God, yeah, I was on the highway today. And could you see in the video? It literally looked like they took stacks of cardboard and stacked them up. Maybe they're going to recycle them. Huge truck and just cardboard pieces are just flying.
Yeah.
Could you have secured it a little bit better? What it sounds like, could you please secure the cardboard and have a blessed Tuesday?
Oh my God, that was
yeah. I don't know. That's how I feel. I'm like mad at the point in my life where I'm gonna take shit from people and excuse me because I don't like it. But I'm not gonna just allow that. I got fired from an internship because I didn't allow that. Women are conditioned to not say what's on their mind and to not stand up for themselves and to just be quiet and let the man say whatever they want to say. Not I. So I gotta practice what I preach. I wasn't gonna say anything at the second round. At the third, I was like, patience up. I'm done.
Out.
Like you think out. Yeah, can we train men out? Disengage and walk away.
That would be so great.
That's my song for out. It says disengage and walk away. Let's train men and they'll come in. Vamos.
You know, okay, you get this question a lot. I get asked a lot, can you train my kids? Or do you train kids?
All the freaking time.
I was like, no, I don't.
Well, it's funny though, because I do a lot of babysitting. I have a lot of experience with like young children. So when I'm talking to parents, I'm able to use analogies in ways that make a lot of sense to them. And then that's when I really get you're going to be a great mom one day, or, train my kid. And I'm like, can they wipe their own nose? Because they're me out.
I'm going to close out and reopen because ever since I changed things, you're going in and out. And I just can't take it. So you fill the void. That's airtime. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So you can talk about what you do today with your puppies, like puppy desensitization.
Okay, cool. Bye, Susan. This is now about to blow me up really big, I think. Yeah, it is. That's unfortunate. So while Susan is gone and I'm going to sit here awkwardly by myself and hate my life for a little bit, let's talk about puppy desensitization. So I've got a lot of puppies right now in training with me. And oh my goodness, they're so cute, first of all. But I want to talk about the importance of nothing because Susan's, I asked her out. Okay, hey, Susan. I used that whole time to talk about what I was going to talk about. So thank you for being quick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You left me alone with the creeps, Susan.
I'm
Hurry back.
sorry. Sorry about that.
Oh, gosh.
Um,
I cracked myself up.
okay.
All right, Susan, are you ready? Or do you have a question for me, or is it your question?
I have a question for you. What's the best dog treat to use?
Dog treat?
Yeah.
All right, so we get asked this a lot. So I'm gonna start by saying, if I lived in a fairy tale world where I got to have board and trains and had full control over dogs' food, the treat I would use is their daily kibble. For the most part, unless I really wanted to give them a high reward for something, they would be getting their daily kibble. They could work for it throughout the day. But my dog doesn't really like their kibble. Okay. Then they don't take it the first couple times you offer it to them. But eventually they're going to get hungry. They're going to eat their daily kibble. You're going to be able to give your dog You're going to be able to give your dog a lot more treats without them getting like fat or an upset tummy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best treat, if we're going to be honest. The treat that I use, because I don't have full control over my dog's food, is this. It's Stewart pork liver treats. It's freeze dried. Susan uses the beef liver. This is what it looks like. They're pretty cool. The thing about these, though, that's really annoying is all of my clients ask about these, and I try to explain them, like, guys, you don't want to buy these treats. You can buy another single ingredient dehydrated treat, and your dog's probably gonna love them. But you can't have them, sweetheart, because you are gonna get sick. Sorry, Gaia sees me shaking around these treat buckets, and she's like, "Can I have some?"
Oh.
And I could put her in command, but she's been in command like all day, so I'm giving her some free time. So, fun fact. Out. This is the size they come in. Okay. And then I take scissors. I'm going to find a small piece so Susan can make a smart aleck comment to me. And this is the size I cut them to.
Oh my God, I can't even see it. Can you hold it again?
I'm trying. That's the size difference. Okay, why do I cut them up so tiny? So I can give the dog more. I am not going to give my dogs this freaking gigantic treat every time they do something. Could you imagine how fat and how sick your dog is going to get? So it comes in a bucket of giganticness, and I cut it into this. Whee! So I got a blister on my thumb right now because I cut 2 buckets yesterday. Oh. So don't buy these treats. I'm pretty sure I get these because like I can get them in bulk, and I train a lot of dogs. I'm pretty sure, what's it called, Pure Bites?
Yes.
You use those sometimes. They're nice and stinky, and they're dehydrated, single ingredient treats. So yeah, I didn't actually answer this question the way I was supposed to. I was supposed to say to use food and that the treat doesn't matter and your dog's gonna eat when they're hungry and all that good stuff. But I wanted to show my treats because I had them right here, and this is the first time I've had this many cut up and ready to go.
It worked out great because you just cut them yesterday.
I've never had this many cut. I've not ever had this many stocked up, and I've got 2 more to cut.
Well, especially because, like, okay, with my board and trains now, I don't know if that's why, but I'm like blowing through my treats. It's really annoying because then you have to cut more treats.
And then, okay, so the first time I went through like a bucket in like a day, and I was like, oh my God, I got to cut more treats. And you were like, Rachel, be thankful that you've got so many dogs that you need to cut more treats. And I was like, you know what, girl? You're right. Say that. You're right. And then you were griping about cutting treats, and I was like, Susan, be grateful.
So true.
I'm sharing a picture to my Instagram story of this Q&A really quick. And so I'm gonna let you fill the void for a minute.
Oh, okay. So Miss Bindi, who I have here for a board and train, she actually had some single sessions at the end of last year. She had about 3 single sessions. In the meantime, the owner wanted to have her do some like group classes before she continued on with my training. So she did group classes somewhere else. I'm pretty sure they did different commands than I would have. So it's not like she was going over those same commands or whatever. I think it was more like socialization. So I trained with her back in October, maybe November. And she started a board and train with me Friday. That's right, I said Friday.
I know. Don't even talk to me.
I got her at 11 a.m. Friday. So day one, I'm like, well, let's see what you know. So I'd ask her to do something, and I teach 7 commands. Now, of the 7,
because you're a baddie. Sorry.
I know she did not know. I know she didn't know out because we didn't train that. But the other 6 commands we had trained, so I wanted to see what she would do. So I was asking her to do, all the things. And to my surprise, because the owner said she had not really been working on the commands since the training, since the one-on-ones. She did all the things. All of them. So I'm like, okay, well, you're on a verbal, so let's just move you to the e-collar. What? And she's doing phenomenally. Like in the house, really great. We had one blow off of a command yesterday, so we worked through that. Outside, she's doing great. The most challenging thing for her, I think, is exciting people. So being like dragging the leash and seeing people go by and having her not run up and greet them. She's friendly, don't worry. But she just wants to say hi to everybody. So her challenge is just, so I'll either say, if she runs at them, so it's like, okay, what do you do? If your dog's dragging the leash and she knows all the things, but I have the leash on to hold her accountable. If she charges at somebody, I'm going to say no and correct that because you should never charge somebody. But if she just starts like trotting over and goes towards them, I'll say out because that means disengage from that. Sorry, my dog taking toys out of the kit. Pulling the
I thought your cat just outed.
Yeah. See, out. But yeah, so that's her biggest challenge right now. But otherwise, she's doing pretty great. It's pretty great.
It is amazing. And just saying, everyone should go check out Susan's updates she's doing. So, okay, so Susan and I don't know if y'all know this, but like we're kind of close friends. Like we talk sometimes, not just on Q&A Tuesdays.
Yeah, this is one time we talk.
It's actually rare when we're not talking. But I get a lot of really great ideas from Susan. And I think sometimes she gets good ideas from me about like what not to do. But Susan is now doing video updates with Bendy. So anybody watching this, I don't care if it's 3 years from now and you're watching our reruns because we're like so awesome. Today is March 16th, 2021. So go check out like Susan's updates on Bendy, and I'm sure she'll have like lots of cool dogs if you're watching in the future. But I love your video updates. I think that was like the coolest thing I've seen. Because it is so cool. It's like, hey, let's check in about where this dog is. And it's going to be really exciting if you continue to do these. It would be really awkward for you to be like, Rachel, I hate these. I don't want to do them anymore. Shut up.
I know, right?
Well, if you do continue to do them, it'll be cool to like be able to look back and be like, okay, well, these are how the different dogs progress through our training because each dog is so stinking different. And like you said today, read the freaking dog.
Read the freaking dog.
So different. Oh gosh.
They really are. Yeah. I hope everybody likes my Bendy updates. Like Rachel said, is something new that I'm trying because really I only update people on my board and trains on my story. And so if you don't watch my story, and plus I'm not story savvy yet, and I'm not saving my stories, you might not see the updates on my dogs. So now I'm putting it actually in the feed, like in my as an actual post. And so I updated day 1. Here's what we're doing. Day 3. Here's what we're doing. And Bendy is not normal. So if you watch Bendy's updates, it's not normal. She is like, whoa, above and beyond. Because day 3 we were working outside with a long line. That's
unheard of. But like you mentioned before, and I love that you commented it because it was funny because when I was first watching your updates, I was like, please, I really hope she explains that like Bendy's passed and you did. Because I'm like, man, if not, that would have been like really confusing to some people, but you did and you explained it well and she's doing so good. And I'm sure like now you probably feel like she should be like graduating tomorrow because she's so great, but you've got another, week and a half with her?
Yeah.
Which is just a week and a half more time that you're going to get to like proof her and like do all that good stuff. It's going to be great.
Exactly. And I do want to build her confidence a little. She's not crazy shy, like with people obviously, but she is like, she'll hear a noise and get distracted. She doesn't have a interest to like do the things. So like when we're downstairs in the fun room, she's like, I'm not really food motivated, so I don't really want to do the things. So it
Right.
would be nice to get her like jumping over things and like jumping on things, taking her to Lowe's and getting her on like the carts and that kind of thing. Just so that,
That'd be fun.
yeah, she gets more exposed to noises and that kind of, yeah.
It's really cool stuff.
But now that I talked for an hour, I'm going to give you a question here.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever had a stray dog approach you while walking your dog? And how do you handle it?
So thank God I have not had this exact situation. So here's the thing: off-leash dogs or stray dogs, they just really tick me off. Like, get away from me. Sorry. If I have another dog with me. If you are like a stray dog and it's just me, like, I'm gonna help you. If I have another dog with me, you need to get away from me. But I did one time. Had Gaia, and I was out at this little like beachy area, and I was told that there's this neighborhood dog who just wanders around, and he's friendly, kind of, for the most part. You know, he's just like weird, and he'll come and approach dogs, and he's fine. I don't care if you're freaking friendly. Stay away from me and my dog. And his owners just let him wander the neighborhood and do whatever he wants. I'm not okay with that. Gaia's fine with dogs. Gaia would go out and social. She's fine with Blue. She's got a little friend. But on leash for a strange dog that I don't know to come approach us, first off, my anxiety is through the roof because I don't know anything about you. You could have rabies. I don't know. Don't come at me, Susan. So it's like, no. So what I did in this situation was I told the person I was with, because I was at her beach house and this is her neighbor's dog. I said, if this dog approaches me while I'm with my dog, I had compressed air on me. I was like, I will compress air him, and he better get the hell away and get away quick, because it's not going to be pretty for him if he doesn't. Because Guy is not leash reactive with me because she knows better, but like at the vet, she's leash reactive. So I'm not trying to find out. So I did. Dog came up and I compressed air at him and he ran away.
Now, just out of curiosity, did you say no and do it, or did you just do it?
No, I think I just did it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mark it. I didn't make no valuable for this dog.
I'm really curious because I think I would say no.
I'm trying to think. No. Well, because okay, so the first time I did it, my compressed air thing, I feel like the up is locked and the down is unlocked or something. Whatever it is, I always feel like it should be reversed. So I think the first time I went to compressed air him, I either didn't push it hard enough or nothing came out, or it was locked or something stupid happened. But he ended up like wandering off. The next time, homeboy snuck up behind me, and next thing I know, and I could only hear him because I could hear his like feet like walking on the gravel. Homeboy's like right like this far away from Gaia, and I was like, like straight in quick, and he went running, and I was like, maybe you should leave me alone then. But yeah, I'm like, I'm not okay with random dogs just approaching me and my dog.
Yeah.
Oh, but to actually answer the question and not just tell my stupid story. It's hard because my go-to is to say kick the dog. But if the dog's being chill, you have to evaluate, because a kick could escalate the situation. You know, if a dog's charging me, I'm going to do anything I can to make being around me suck. And I'm going to do anything I can to protect the dog I have, because that's my number one priority, the dogs that I'm handling at the time. So if you carry compressed air with you, that's great. I always make sure I have it with me when I go on walks, because people in my neighborhood, their dogs like to escape. But yeah, it's a tough one because there's so many different variables, you know, and it's also like, how is your dog? So if you know it's going to be ugly with your dog, especially do everything. But if they're just kind of wandering around minding their own business, I would just kind of like avoid the situation if possible. You know, I was walking Abby once, and there's a big old pitty loose. Not that it matters, but it was a big dog and he was loose. And I saw him down the neighborhood, and I was like, we're gonna turn around now, and we left. Out. I just added her and she went to her kennel. I was like, fine, just go get comfortable. So Susan, this has been fun. But we have 4 or 5 minutes left. Do you have anything else you want to say? Because I'm about done. I'm kind of in a little bit of a feisty mood right now.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry for some dinner.
Dinner's good.
Right. So I posted on my Instagram story that they really missed out, because I thought they missed out on some funny commentary for me. So maybe next time they'll learn better and they'll join us for our live Q&A.
Right.
Um,
Have a snack. That's what I did.
right. I wonder, are we public? Sorry, Abby's mom just texted me and she was like, "Where are you?" So I don't guess she can see.
What?
That would explain why we have like no people watching. Okay, well, I'm gonna look into this. Well, this has been a fun Q&A Tuesday. Has been quite eventful. Thank you to nobody who watched us, and I hope everybody has a blessed. Such a smart aleck. No, I'm just kidding. You guys, I'm not always this sassy.
She's just feeling extra sassy today.
Feeling extra. I'm just.
Because St. Patrick's Day is coming up. She's feisty.
Okay, but seriously, thank you everybody who watches us on the replay. I hope you enjoyed those 3 dog training questions we answered. And as always, we are here to answer your dog training questions on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram at Pack Leader Dog and Rachel Fuller Dog Training.
Night.
Bye.